For centuries, Earth had been a quiet, blue planet nestled in the vast darkness of space, largely unnoticed by the great powers that ruled the galaxy. Humanity lived its everyday lives, unaware of the larger universe beyond their small world. That calm, however, shattered one clear night, when the sky suddenly filled with strange lights massive. Shining warships emerging from hyperspace, just beyond the orbit of the moon. These were no ordinary vessels. They were the armada of the Galactic Empire, a powerful force that had conquered thousands of worlds. The sheer size and number of these ships stunned scientists and military leaders alike. Earth's technology, still far behind the advanced races of the Empire, could not match such strength. The Empire's commanders looked down on Earth as a minor obstacle, a world too primitive to pose any real challenge, but they saw it as a useful symbol and easy target to demonstrate their power to other star systems. The Imperial leaders were confident, their voices calm as they issued orders to prepare for war, certain that the planet's defenses would crumble quickly under their overwhelming firepower. On Earth, however, the news spread like wildfire. Governments declared states of emergency. Civilians watched the night sky with a mix of fear, awe, and disbelief. The world's greatest minds worked tirelessly to analyze the alien technology and predict what might come next. Public broadcasts urged calm, but also warned of the possible horrors ahead. Many people whispered prayers, while others steeled themselves for battle. In secret underground bunkers and command centers, Earth's military leaders held tense meetings, trying to organize a defense with the limited resources they had. Every radar blip, every strange signal from the Armada's fleet sent waves of anxiety through the population. Some wondered if Earth was truly ready to face a power that had conquered entire galaxies. Yet beneath the fear, a spark of hope began to grow, a belief that perhaps humanity's resilience, creativity, and will to survive could turn the tide. The Armada's warships slowly moved into position, their massive cannons aimed at Earth's cities and space stations, ready to strike with terrifying precision. But Earth was not just a prize to be taken. It was a home filled with people who had never before faced such a threat. As night fell, the planet's defenders braced themselves, knowing that the coming hours might change the fate of humanity forever. The silence before the storm was thick with tension, as both sides prepared for the inevitable clash between a proud, ancient empire and a world that was only beginning to show its true strength. After days of tense silence, the Galactic Empire made its first move toward Earth's leaders, sending a sleek silver envoy ship to enter the planet's orbit. This ship carried a message from the Empire's high command, delivered with cold confidence and an unmistakable demand: surrender immediately and accept the Empire's rule, or face total destruction. The envoy's crew, proud and sure of their superiority, expected an easy victory, believing Earth's people would bow without resistance. But what they did not understand was that humanity's spirit was not so easily broken. Instead of panic or submission, the message sparked a fierce determination among Earth's defenders. Behind closed doors, scientists and military strategists worked together, turning old technology into new weapons, combining their knowledge with creative ideas born from years of imagination and hope. Earth's space defense systems, once thought outdated and weak, suddenly revealed hidden strengths as they adapted quickly. Unpredictable maneuvers and clever traps to confuse the Empire's scout ships. When the first shots were fired, the Galactic Empire was taken by surprise. The lasers and missiles aimed at their smaller vessels did not miss as easily as expected. Humans used their own ships and satellites, weaving through the debris of space and the shadows of the asteroid belt, striking with precision and speed. The scouts, trained to dominate weaker foes, found themselves outmatched by a species they had dismissed. The Empire's commanders watched in disbelief as their forces took unexpected damage, their confidence wavering for the first time. On Earth, news of the small but powerful victory spread quickly, boosting morale across the globe. Leaders stepped forward to inspire their people, using the rallying cry, "We are not your prey," phrase that echoed through streets, homes, and broadcast waves. Ordinary citizens, from students to workers, felt a new sense of pride and courage. They knew the road ahead would be difficult and dangerous, but they also understood that giving in was not an option. The clash was more than a battle of weapons. It was a battle of wills. The Empire had underestimated the human heart. The unpredictability of a species that fought not just for survival, but for the freedom to dream and decide their own future. As the skirmishes continued, Earth's defenders refined their tactics, learning from each encounter and growing stronger with every challenge. The Empire's vast armada, once a symbol of unstoppable power, now faced a stubborn, rising resistance. For the first time, whispers of doubt began to spread among the empires. Could this small blue planet really stand against them? The answer was still unknown, but one thing was clear: the war had begun, and humanity would fight with everything they had to protect their home. After the first clashes with the Galactic Empire's forces, humanity found itself facing a new challenge: how to survive against an enemy far more advanced and experienced in war. Yet, instead of surrendering to fear, the people of Earth united like never before. Scientists, engineers, and soldiers from all corners of the globe worked, side by side, sharing knowledge and ideas with a sense of urgency and hope. Pieces of the Empire's technology recovered from battle became the key to accelerating Earth's own progress. Laboratories buzzed with activity as teams studied the alien devices, slowly learning how to unlock their secrets and adapt them for human use. Meanwhile, factories retooled to build weapons and defenses that could match the Empire's firepower. This new wave of innovation fueled a growing resistance movement that spread beyond governments and armies. Ordinary citizens joined in, volunteering for defense efforts, forming local militias, and supporting the cause in every way they could. Amid this rising tide of unity, a leader appeared, a veteran pilot named Marcus Talon, whose calm confidence and fierce determination inspired all who followed him. His courage in the skies during early battles became a symbol of Earth's unyielding spirit. And under his leadership, scattered resistance groups began to organize into a more coordinated force. The Galactic Empire, which had once viewed Earth as an easy conquest, now saw the growing threat with concern. They sent their elite troops, trained for swift and brutal suppression, to crush the human rebellion. These soldiers were ruthless and skilled, equipped with advanced armor and weapons that made them deadly in combat. But Earth's defenders did not back down. Instead, they used their knowledge of their own planet and space to fight smart, using guerrilla tactics and surprise attacks that caught the Empire's forces off guard. Time and again, the elite units found themselves facing unpredictable strategies and a unity they had not expected. Every victory, no matter how small, was celebrated, as proof that Earth was not just a helpless planet but a fierce opponent. As the battles raged on, Marcus Talon led daring raids into enemy lines, striking where least expected and always retreating before the Empire could respond. His presence boosted morale, giving hope to those who feared the Empire's overwhelming power. The resistance learned from each encounter, improving their tactics and technology with every fight. Even though the Empire's forces were stronger and more experienced, they could not break the human will. The struggle transformed Earth's people, turning fear into determination and chaos into order. The rising resistance was more than a military force. It was a symbol of humanity's refusal to be conquered, a beacon of hope that echoed through every city and settlement. And as the Empire realized that Earth was no longer a simple target, but a growing threat, the stage was set for an epic conflict that would decide the fate of the planet and perhaps the galaxy itself. As the war between Earth and the Galactic Empire dragged on, humanity's resilience began to show in ways no one had expected. Earth's forces, once on the defensive, grew bold and inventive, using their deep knowledge of their own solar system to fight back with guerrilla tactics that caught the Empire off guard. Instead of facing the Empire's huge ships in open space, they struck quickly and disappeared into the shadows of asteroids and debris fields. Small groups of human pilots and fighters launched sudden raids on the Empire's supply lines, attacking the convoys that carried fuel, weapons, and vital information across space. These attacks forced the Empire to divert resources to protect their logistics, stretching their forces thinner than ever. Behind the scenes, Earth's engineers worked tirelessly to disrupt the Empire's communication networks. By hacking into the alien systems and planting false signals, humans created confusion and delay among the Empire's commanders, making their attacks less coordinated and less deadly. This combination of hit-and-run tactics and clever sabotage slowly wore down the invaders' confidence. The turning point came in the asteroid belt, a vast region between Mars and Jupiter filled with thousands of rocky bodies. Earth's forces chose this dangerous and unpredictable place for a decisive battle, using their knowledge of the environment to their advantage. They set traps within the asteroid fields, using the rocks for cover and guiding enemy ships into deadly ambushes. The Empire's flagship, a massive and heavily armed warship that symbolized their strength and control, became the main target. Despite its powerful shields and weapons, it was vulnerable in the tight spaces where human fighters could strike from unexpected angles. In a fierce battle lasting hours, Earth's pilots launched coordinated attacks, damaging the flagship's engines and weapon systems. The flagship's crew fought back fiercely, but the damage was too great, and they were forced to retreat. To avoid total destruction, this victory was not just a tactical success, it sent a message across the galaxy that Earth was not a world to be conquered easily. News of the battle spread quickly, sparking hope and inspiration among other civilizations. Living under the Empire's shadow, many began to see humanity as a symbol of resistance, proof that even a smaller, less advanced world could challenge the might of a galactic power. On Earth, celebrations erupted, but the leaders and fighters knew this was just the beginning. The Empire would not give up so easily, and the war would grow more dangerous before it ended. Yet, for the first time, humans believed that victory was possible. The tide was turning, and with each new battle, Earth's defenders grew stronger, smarter, and more united, ready to face whatever the Empire might throw at them next. After months of fierce fighting and relentless resistance, the Galactic Empire found itself shaken and uncertain, its vast fleets damaged, and its once unchallenged authority questioned. Earth, a planet once dismissed as insignificant, had become a symbol of hope and strength across the stars. Rather than pushing for total annihilation, Earth's leaders made a bold and unexpected move. They sent diplomats and envoys to the remnants of the Empire's command, proposing a new kind of future, not one of conquest and control, but of equality and cooperation. Earth offered to join a new interstellar alliance, a coalition where every world, no matter its size or power, would have a voice. This was a dramatic shift from the Empire's old ways of ruling through fear and domination. Empire's leaders, though reluctant and proud, recognized that continued war would only drain their strength and resources. They respected humanity's courage and the unyielding spirit that had forced them to the negotiating table. The talks were tense and slow, filled with mistrust and memories of battle, but they were a sign of something greater, a chance for peace born from conflict. Across the galaxy, other worlds watching the struggle began to see that resistance was possible. The Empire's grip could be challenged. Earth's victory had ignited a spark, inspiring oppressed civilizations to dream of freedom and equality. As negotiations progressed, humanity prepared not only to defend their home, but to step forward as a proud member of a larger cosmic community. The story of Earth's rise was no longer just a tale of survival. It was a story of hope, courage, and the unbreakable will of a species determined to claim its place among the stars. The final chapter closed, not with the roar of weapons, but with the promise of a new dawn of future where humanity's voice would be heard, respected, and celebrated throughout the galaxy. Though challenges remained and peace was fragile, Earth stood tall, proud and unbowed, ready to shape its destiny among the countless worlds that filled the night sky. When the last echoes of battle finally faded, and the smoke cleared from the war that had shaken the stars, Earth began the difficult and hopeful task of rebuilding, not just for the present, but for all the generations that would follow. The victory over the mighty Galactic Empire was far more than a military success. It was a turning point that reshaped the future of the entire galaxy. No longer was Earth just a small blue planet in a quiet corner of space. It had become a symbol of strength, courage, and the power of unity. Scientists, engineers, and diplomats from Earth reached out to the many worlds that had broken free from the Empire's grasp. Together, they shared ideas, technology, and culture in a way that had never happened before in galactic history. The lessons learned during the long struggle inspired new institutions dedicated to peace, cooperation, and respect for all civilizations, big and small. Earth became a center of innovation, attracting the brightest minds from across the stars who were eager to build a better future together. The planet's cities grew with new energy, filled with people from different worlds who had come to join in this new era. Earth's people, once isolated and unaware of the larger galaxy, now stood connected to a vast, diverse community full of hope and possibilities. Young explorers, filled with curiosity and excitement, looked up at the night sky with dreams of distant worlds waiting to be discovered. They imagined forging friendships across the stars and learning from new cultures, inspired by the bravery and resilience of those who had come before them. Yet amid the celebrations and hope, Earth never forgot the heavy price it had paid. The sacrifices of countless men and women, soldiers and civilians alike, were honored through memorials and stories passed from generation to generation. These reminders of sacrifice taught that freedom was precious and hard-won, never to be taken for granted. The memories of the fallen became the foundation upon which Earth's new future was built, inspiring a deep respect for peace and the cost it carried. Meanwhile, the Galactic Empire, once feared and unstoppable, had become a humbled power. Watching the changes from afar, its leaders saw their former subjects growing stronger and more united. Slowly, the empire itself began to change, influenced by the hope sparked by Earth's courage and determination. The idea that strength came not from ruling others, but from standing together, began to take root even among those who had once sought to conquer. This shift was not easy or quick, and the road ahead remained filled with uncertainty and new challenges. But Earth's legacy was clear and strong, a planet that dared to rise against impossible odds, to fight with heart and mind, and to dream of a future where all could live free. The light of humanity shone brightest in the darkest times, proving that no matter how powerful an enemy might seem, the spirit of a united people could never be crushed. Earth's story was no longer just a chapter in the history of a small planet. It had become a beacon of hope for every world that believed in the power of courage, unity, and hope. As the stars glimmered overhead, Earth stood proud and ready to shape a future filled with possibilities, welcoming all who shared the vision of a galaxy where every voice mattered and every life was valued. This new dawn marked not an end, but a beginning, a chance for humanity and the galaxy to write a story together. One of peace, friendship, and endless discovery. The legacy of Earth was now written in the stars, shining as a guiding light for those who dared to dream and fight for a better tomorrow.